Hello.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show.
If you couldn't tell, it's not a podcast night. Our usual Tuesday podcast isn't happening tonight, but that's okay because me and Matt are going to do some cool stuff tonight.
Woo.
We decided it's been long enough and it was time to do a project stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So basically, the boss is away and the employees will play. Kind of a situation. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now it just went live. So, first of all, yeah, I don't know why it took so long. It's like a 20-second delay tonight, just so you guys know. But first of all, if you've never been here before, thanks for tuning in. If you have been here before, welcome back. We'll make sure we say hey to everybody in just a minute. But tonight, basically, what's happening is we've got some projects, like Kyle was saying, that we're going to make some. I don't know if Kyle maybe gave some viewers' choice options. What is going on?
Yeah, I think we're going to do some viewers' choice.
Nice.
Pretty much all Rotary stuff, I think, for me, my end of things.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to get to play with Sublimation tonight. Like, I'm kind of lasered out. It's okay with me. I was planning on showing you guys how to use Adobe Express and Adobe Firefly, which I thought was really cool because adding color to the shop. Christmas ornament time, Christmas in July is happening. By the way, let me know if my audio sounds good. I just picked up a new microphone today, and I'm going to be moving around the shop, and I figured I could just use this today. So if it's good, thumbs up or say, yeah, it sounds all right, or give it a 1 to 10 so I know, because hopefully it's worth the money. But yeah, so my plan is to show you guys Adobe Express and how you can use Firefly to generate some AI photos. Like the thumbnail tonight was actually generated through typing in text and then adding in some pictures and then using Adobe Express to generate some cool text effects. And also, I was going to show you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it, like, boom, like, check that out. So we talked about adding color to our shop, and like, this is the kind of thing when you're looking at it.
That's got all the shiny going on.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of thing that catches people's eyes. And I made this is a $7 blank. I made it with about 50 cents worth of materials and about a minute and a half of just using a heat press. So to me, definitely worth it. And I'll teach you all about that. And this is a real award. Like, one of the students won an award, and I asked the coach, hey, can I make her something cool just for funsies? So she's going to get this.
Hey, Matt.
And it came from this thing. Yeah.
Mike
what's up?
says, watch out, Matt is DTF tonight.
DTF.
I think that was a direct-to-film joke.
Ooh, nope, not DTF. It's actually Sublimation.
Yeah.
Anyways, because everybody keeps asking about it. So, all right, who's here? Oh,
we got a lot of people popping in. We got Bronson.
This is a big deal.
Bronson was first.
Yeah, congratulations, Bronson. Way to go, buddy.
Right. Vince is right behind him. We got Engraved Dreams, Andrew, Scott, Mike, Miranda's popping in.
Miranda,
you must be getting a little downtime with the kids right now. So I hope you're relaxing, enjoying the travel. We got Jerry from 3DHP. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good. Rob over at We Do Widgets. Mr. Jeff Benedict, how's it going, man? Hey, from hot and muggy South Mississippi. Oof. Yeah, it is. I feel like it's hot and muggy everywhere right now. I think the heat index here was over 100 with the really high humidity. So it's just a sauna.
Yeah, today it said feels like 105, and I was like, yeah, accurate.
Yeah.
Gross.
I think it was, I think the heat index was 101 or something. And the real temp was like 88.
Oh, so gross.
We got Laura. What's up, Laura? Are we starting at 8? It's 8-ish. 8-ish.
Yeah.
Happy best night of the week. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what we got going on. What
yeah, and I see a couple of questions. That was the first one that I saw.
Laura said, what am I drinking? It's my favorite beverage. Equally favorite. I like the blackberry one as well, but Canada Dry cranberry is my top 2. with ice.
Oh wow.
To
John, Matt is sublime. Who'd have thunk? God, that's such a dad joke, dude. Oh man. Let's see. Not DTF, it's Sublimation. Yep. And then for me, my drink of choice tonight is a saline nasal spray because the humidity and the rain have made, it's literally just is what I need. So we're just gonna take, oh yes, delicious. Never count against that stuff.
Nice.
Real quick, cubing cracked just asked, can I get a quick explanation on what Q Pulse is on the X tool? It uses it for photos, and honestly, that setting is confusing me.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
in terms of X tool, I mean, in general, let's skip the X tool specific part. In general, Q Pulse is your pulse width. So the way me and Matt like to describe it is essentially if you think about pulse width as you have a water hose, right? And you have a little spray gun on the end of it. How quick you pull the trigger, that's your frequency. How long you hold the trigger every time you pull it is your pulse width. So there is like an inverse curve that those two meet up at to get your peak output power. But essentially think of it as your pulse width is how long each individual pulse, and there are thousands per second, how long that individual pulse is lasting for. If Xtool is using that for pictures, that actually sounds pretty smart because they could be varying the power of each pulse to allow gradient coloring, perhaps. So if they're doing that, that sounds cool. It also sounds like a headache to set up in software, potentially, on their side. If they make it easy for you, then awesome. But that's just a guess. I don't know. I don't have an Xtool.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Xtool, sometimes their stuff changes too. Like they do, instead of lines per inch, they do lines per centimeter, I think. Like there's all kinds of like subtle variances. So what Q-Pulse is versus what they might mean in their program is that's just be mindful of it. It should be useful. You should be able to use it with Lightburn. So that could help too. And then Ed says, hi, Ed. Let's see, on stainless steel, I had it at 200 and got really light mark, but when I went to 400, it was so dark on the dark parts.
I don't know if they're using it in the traditional sense of what actual pulse width it is. So like on a JPT, like on an M7, most of the shared library we use is based on 200.
200. Yeah.
That's what the JPT LP series ships at. So it makes it easier to transition that to like the M7s, for example, because you can just manually set the Q pulse on an M7 to 200 and it gets you pretty close to the ballpark. However, when you go up in wattage, now you're changing like power and frequency relation and all that. But
yeah,
I don't know if they're like changing the definition of what that is to the actual source. It could be a sliding scale of interpretation because
and the one thing I would recommend too is to try the 20 watt, like download the 20 watt libraries that we've got. I know the Xtool said that they have the first parameter library in the world ever, but that's not true. Just calling it like I see it. So ours has been around since way long time ago. But anyways,
even the first company to have it.
No,
outside of us.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say outside of it.
Even that.
But anyway, whatever. You should be able to download the 20 watts and see how that works, and then that would actually be a really good way to kind of see what it translates to in their program. Would be my suggestion. So, just a thought. Oh, beam it up, Anthony. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Anthony and Ed. What's up?
Yep. So real quick, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is the reason why I was running late today.
Oh, that's super cute.
Hello there.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just here. trying to test stuff out. What I was going to say is, do you want me to start off on my project? Do you want to go to your project? What do you want to do? You pick. We got a couple of projects for you guys.
Everybody put a 1 in the chat if you want to see some sublimation first, or 2 in the chat if you want to pick a rotary project with me. We're gonna do both.
Yeah, my thought is I'll show you guys how to set stuff up in the computer and how to do it first. So like a little Adobe stuff.
Yeah.
Or Kyle's got laser stuff.
Yeah. We are gonna do both. So it's just a matter of what you guys decide you want to see first. 3 doesn't count, and neither does 5. Stop that.
This is our constituency. There we got 3 for 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 is right out. The holy hand. Hey, what's up, Resin? How you doing?
Hey, Resin.
3.5. Vinny, thank you. That's the percent of Vinny meat that this episode is. 3.5%. My God.
Oh, you call it that. We got a healthy mix. I'll let you count it up or call it.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want to talk about what you're doing, like what you've got to show people first? Because then what I'll do is while you're doing that, I'll set up my stuff.
I would love
How about that?
I'm going to turn on my mobile camera. Oop. Give that a minute.
Yeah, that's why it took us a little bit of extra time to get ready. I've got my mobile mic. He's got the mobile camera. Oh my God, it's got a whole thing.
We got all this stuff going. All right. Whee! So this is what we got going on. So what I have here is I literally just tested it. I literally just unboxed, just before stream, the Rotoboss Talon. What I did, so that you guys weren't literally watching me do a setup and ripping apart my stuff so I could actually get to the back of this machine, I just bolted it down. I literally haven't used it yet. I set the steps because I already know the steps from my device. And so we're going to be real-time testing the Rotoboss Talon tonight. First test. I gotta say, the anodization on stuff these days makes some older stuff look horrible.
Can you turn the camera to the right just a little bit?
How about that?
Oh yeah, there's the whole shebang.
It is such a beautiful job on the anodization, and he went back. I don't know where he's getting this machine, but it's beautiful. So it has black anodization, and then they come back and remachine the edges. It is so nice. Because this isn't just like light reflection. This is remachined edging to take the corner off. Like, it's freaking beautiful, and it's really freaking smooth. And we have 2 different rotaries. So I'm dropping cards. So I have Mystery Box 1 and Mystery Box 2. I've never marked either of these. They're from a brand that actually I refuse to work with because their quality control sucked. So I wouldn't be surprised if when I open these, they're all dinged up and scratched. But it's great for testing. I'm not going to let them go to waste.
Ed said Kyle was just giving us the tip.
I
wanted you guys
to
get
the nuts good at, okay?
and bolts.
Yeah. I'm good at acting a fool and being an idiot on camera and hopefully learning and sharing that knowledge.
It's true. Me too.
John says for sure you get what you pay for with Rotoboss. It looks gorgeous. Yes. Jason was kind enough to send that over for me to check out. And I gotta say it's freaking beautiful. So I can't wait to actually put it through its paces, because if it behaves and works the way it looks, this thing is nice.
Yep. And Laura also said that looks like the new Pi. I will say that, yeah, it's basically both machines are like a stepper motor, and they've got the chuck feel to it. And I know I've played with the Talon, and it's super nice. I've never played with a Pi Burn, so I'm sure they're both equally nicely made, but the anodizing on it is premium. And all the stuff that I've seen, like, this thing is beefy when it comes out of the box. I know that's like my favorite word to use with the Rotoboss stuff, because he makes his to last. So
yeah,
I would like to play with the Pi Burn though. Just saying, be interesting to see what those are like.
maybe one day I will too, but
Yeah,
for the time being, I've only gotten to see him play with Alex's momentarily
right.
for like 8 seconds in between filming lasered episodes.
All right, let's see. All right, so my stuff real quick. That way, like, if Kyle wants to kind of work on his stuff and get it going, I'll take over just for a minute and show you guys my screen. So let's see. Share screen. This one. All right. So basically, what I've been playing with a lot more lately, because the whole point of me getting the Sure Color F170, which is the SCF 170, was I wanted to get something that basically was like $400 or less. Like, someone who is trying something out for their shop, it just makes it worth it. So I thought it was really important to get something that was like on the lower end, and I figured out that this will pay itself off pretty quickly, which, especially because it's the time of year where we're looking at Christmas ornaments and ways to stand out and things to do. I actually just had ideas that I sent a shop that's here in town that I want to do with the sublimation machine. And he was like, yes, let's go. So he's going to buy about 50 ornaments based off of what I sent him. And it won't pay off the machine, the one order, but depending on how they sell, because they're having like a big sale at the end of July, depending on how they sell, it might be a second order placed. So that's the kind of thing where the blanks are so cheap. I think I'll get money, like the money back, I'll get my money back by Christmas time with this machine. So I think a lot of times when we think about lasers, you're thinking about thousands of dollars and how you're going to pay that off. And this is hundreds of dollars, and it's done really quickly. Also, this is technology you can use with your laser. So this is Adobe. This is just my personal account with Adobe to show you guys what it is. I'm really terrible with this stuff, and that's why I told Alex I wanted to try to tackle it, to get better, but two, to show you guys like anybody can do this. And that was kind of the pitch that I threw. So the program I'm going to talk about today is Adobe Express, and then they've actually got this new thing called Adobe Firefly, which is really cool. There's been a lot of hubbub about Adobe lately. A lot of people think that Adobe owns the stuff that you create, and they don't. Like, they actually came out with it. If you ever go to some of the groups where they talk about it, you'll see that the person in charge of all of that stuff came on and said, we do not own your IP. It's all your stuff. So this is Adobe Express, and this is literally how I make the show's thumbnails and stuff like that. So like this today is how I made this. So our thumbnail today, you can make some really cool stuff by coming in here, and I can do another episode or a video on that later. But just to show you guys how this works, we can start a new project here in a second. But let me show you this real quick. Nope. Yeah, we'll go here. So this is actually the sublimation printer that we used, and we did an 8x10 sublimation plaque. So I'm just going to show you guys that. So the Unisub plaque right here. So it's $7, and I'm just showing you guys this because the way I figured out how to do this, like I said, Adobe Express is one half of it. Finding the right stuff is the other half. What's really cool is this was sent over to me to try and play with, and it's something where you can add really good color to it, and you can use it for awards. You can use it for pictures of family. You can do whatever you want to do. But what's really cool is the tech docs and the downloads literally teach you how to do it right here. So this is what I download to teach me how to do it. So it's really nice. They have everything from start to finish about how this product works, the hints that you can use to be successful, and then basically the position and tape transfer, and then sublimating the plaque itself. So that's what I'm going to show you guys over the next hour and a half. But what you need is basically the plaque, which is what we have here. You need the sublimation printer and paper and some heat transfer tape. And then you need a heat press, which if you guys saw the first video, that's where it is. And then I download this and I keep it. So that's that. And then it basically tells you that we're going to press this for 75 to 90 seconds at 400 degrees. And that's all you got to do. So just to show you guys, we can start a new trophy. And so, like, what's a sport you want? Anybody want to give me a sport to tackle? Anybody? Kyle, you too.
Bocce.
Bocce. I didn't know how to spell that. What's wrong with you? There you go. Resin said soccer. Thank you for being so let's see.
Hey,
soccer.
bocce is a good old man summer sport, all right?
There you go. Oh, this is a cool one. So this is where we start from a photo, and you can do a custom size. And so you can do all kinds of stuff. So basically for me, I'm going to do this in inches because the plaque is in inches. And so I would do 8 by 10. Right? We're going to create a new file. And there you go. Right? Whoops. I want to resize it. I want to do 10 by 8. I'm dumb. 10 by 8. Just that simple. So resize. And by the way, I saw, if you want to say anything that people are talking about, that's fine. Like I saw Resin said that she uses something else, or somebody was talking about they used a different program. Oh, I use Inkscape and Canva and even DaVinci Resolve for design work. Yeah, for sure. I've never tried any of those. I've just been playing with this. This doesn't look like 8 by 10. Maybe it does. Here we go. 10 by 8. Let's do 11 by 8.5, right? Resize. That's okay. We'll do this. So basically the cool thing is you can stretch this out and you can play with it so that it's center, and you can see the lines that pop up to show you, because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So you literally can center it the best you can. And then the cool thing is you come in here and you basically just start typing text, right? So you can add your text, and this is where you could say, I don't know, let's make an MVP trophy. So DHS soccer 2024. You guys tell me what you want to see, if there's anything special. Right, we'll come back here, we'll delete it to make it nice and neat. There's really nothing too fancy, but you can see that little pink line comes up, and there you go. We can look at that. So this is where I'm going to come in here and make this maybe like a white color, then an outline, something. Gotta come up with a cool color. Gold looks like it might be good. And what's nice is you can come in here and kind of do the outline thickness so that it stands out a little bit better. And by the way, if I'm going too fast or you guys have questions, please ask. Drop the link where you get the 20-watt library. There you go.
Already got it.
Ooh, nice. Thank you.
So if anybody was looking for that library, I just asked. The laser perimeter library that we share is right on the homepage now at lasereverything.net. Link is in chat.
All right. So the cool thing about this, by the way, once you have the text the way you like it, you can literally just copy it and paste it and modify it in here. So this is where we can say girls MVP. And then we can put a name in. right? So we already know that we can copy and paste this and we can drag it down.
I like how it aligns from
Yeah, it
like
makes it
text from line to
really
line.
easy for stupid people like me. Miranda Salidi, by the way, congratulations. You have been chosen to be the 2024 Girls MVP. And so what's cool is you can click this one, and by clicking shift click, we can drag both of these up now, and we can kind of keep them. We can also hit the up arrow or the shift up arrow, kind of like you're using Lightburn. So this is the kind of thing you can do. And then you can actually drag in pictures from your photos. So I would probably, what's nice is I can come over here to other things that I've done. So what's nice is, by the way, what's cool is this is literally all on the web. So as soon as you click out of it, it's fine. It's there. I've got this component in here. So I can add this as a page and it pops up over here. So any of the elements from this page, I can click on it, hit Control C, right? I can go back over here. I can click in this file and hit Control V, and it's already there. So just that quick, I was able to make something which I think would look really cool. Like if someone got this and they wanted to hang it on their wall, it'd be pretty cool. If you guys have any questions about what you just saw, or if you want me to do a video on this, like a longer video, let me know and I can do that. But to me, this would be the kind of thing I would get it okayed by the, and by the way, I don't know crap about this kind of stuff. I just taught myself and it's pretty intuitive. If you wanted to, you could turn it into a circle, Girls MVP, and you could probably make something out of it. I mean, there's so many things you can do. What's really cool is, let's say you wanted to make this sparkle, right? Like you wanted to make this, you can come in here and click text effects. And I could say, oh, look, gold. There you go. A gold drip. And it'll actually give me some options and it could apply it. So DHS Soccer 2024.
That would look sick for like a graduation thing, like the balloons.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's what you can do. Like that's the kind of stuff you can click on. And I literally just clicked on it, came down to text effect and did gold drip, right? So It's going to apply it across here and I can click all three of them at once. And then what we can do is we can get rid of that, that banner. Or not the banner, but the thickness around it, because the whole point is we wanted it to stand out. So pretty quickly we can kind of see which one we like. So Girls MVP, we'll do the gold because it stands out. She is the best. I was trying to use that mustard color because that kind of goes with the theme. And by the way, you can create themes. So if you have schools that you work with, you can make 4 colors and call it like Durant High School theme. And it'll literally change all of the stuff automatically to things that'll be like prompted for you to change things that are changeable. So anyways, Girls MVP, Miranda Salidi, here she is. And that's where I can go back through to my text. And on all of these, I can get rid of the outline. Maybe we put it back and then we'll just make it thinner. There you go. And so it looks cool. It just makes it pop out from the background some. And so when you zoom in, like I think that would look pretty cool on a wall. What do you guys think?
I think
yeah, no. So here's the deal. Now that we've got this saved, we're just going to download it as a PNG. So for printing, what we're going to do is we're literally, if you don't understand what sublimation is, it is literally just a printed piece of paper. And it's a special kind of ink that turns into gas when it applied to heat. So basically, we're going to print it onto this piece of paper. And I'm going to save it as a PNG, which is best for images. You want like 300 DPI or better to do this kind of thing. So when you click download, it downloads. I come up here. And what's really nice is I can open this up. So we'll open this up. And then printing, right? I'll show you guys what I do with that. So Kyle, do you want me to finish up and print this, or are you ready to try?
Do you want to print it and then we'll transition?
Yeah, that works.
For the actual transfer.
So this is my suggestion for this kind of stuff. I actually saw this on another YouTube channel. I will find the woman who has this because I want to give her credit. But I wasn't smart enough to write it down in between cooking dinner and packing for a vacation and all of the other things that we've been up to this afternoon. So what I always suggest is, based off of her recommendation, is to go to Google Docs, and we're literally going to start. You guys can kind of see some other ones that I've done, but we're going to start a blank document here. And the first thing we're going to do is format the margins, which, oof, where is that? I just had it earlier. Well, we'll figure it out. So let's see. We're going to come over here, and this is where, like, you guys are like, this guy, for real? We are going to take this and just drop it in. Boop. All right. And, of course, I have to change the page orientation. Oh, yeah, page orientation. There you go. Nice. Landscape. Ha, take that, Google. So we want this to be 8 by 10, and so we can actually click it, and I think there's a resize option. Image options. Size and rotation. This is an 8 by 10, so I'll show you guys an 8 by 10. And the one thing I learned, so because this is 8 by 10 or 10 by 8, whatever you want to call it, what I would suggest is giving yourself a little bit of extra, so maybe either a quarter of an inch, and you'll notice the space on the edges I kind of left blank so that it can kind of go over and nobody would really notice. So what I would suggest is that we come over here, and as far as width goes, maybe 10.25, and that would make this come out to, we want it to be 8, so we want to unlock the aspect ratio, and we'll do 8.25, right? And so then when you come down here, the options for this, oops, right here, when you're clicking on this, we want to be able to move it around in front of text or put it wherever we want to put it. Right, Kyle? Is that the thing we talked about the other day?
Yep.
Behind text?
I think that'll free float it. It doesn't matter whichever.
Well, it's wanting to be a jerk right now. Oh, I have to change the margins. That's right.
Yeah.
So this is where we'll do margins. And of course, my phone's blowing up. Somebody, margins. We don't need no stinking margins. Somebody tell me how to fix the margins. I literally did this earlier today so that I would know.
Adjustments? Oh, wait.
It says margins from text. So
yeah.
Let's see. Position. Oh, well, I mean, I could just fix it. Adjustments. Well, see, and this is where you guys, I'm not an expert. Like I said, I'm glad
I think we go to page setup. It might be there. File, page setup.
File, page setup.
I could totally be wrong.
Tell me where, bud.
Down
here.
Page setup.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to do 0. Yay, 0. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, people. So there's 0% margins, right? So literally, if you notice the red lines come up, right there is dead center, is what it's telling me. And you do want to give yourself a little bit of space here, because what's going to happen is we're going to have to use heat transfer tape to apply this to the surface of our plaque. And if a paper is 8.5 by 11 and the image is 8.25 by 10, that means we've got a little bit of space on the x-axis going across, and on the y-axis even less. So basically what will end up happening is we'll put 2 pieces on each end going horizontally, and vertically we'll probably put like 3 pieces since that's the longer side. And so with a total of 3, 6, 8, 10 pieces of tape, this should apply pretty nicely. So when you go to print, and I already saw somebody say, don't forget the mirror. I think it was Vince. Thank you. What you're going to do is click File. You'll come down here to print. Oh, my God. There it is. Jeez Louise. And what's cool about this is it will actually... Yeah, it was printing in black and white because that's my shipping label maker. So the Epson SC F100 series pops up, and you'll see more settings. And then what you're going to do is come down here to print using System Dialog if you're on a Windows computer. And what ends up happening is, again, we'll select the Epson SC F100. We are going to print it. It really doesn't matter. We'll say that it's landscape. I guess either way it'll print fine. But what's neat is in the more settings options, this is where it gets cool. So we're going to print landscape. we're going to do DS transfer general purpose rigid. So you have two options, textile or rigid. Because this is literally a hard piece of like compressed MDF, like the hardwood, you guys can see it. It's going to be rigid. So if this was something like a canvas bag, or if we were making something like a koozie, we would do something that had the textile. So we're going to make sure we click rigid. The other thing we're going to make sure we do is click high quality. And the nice thing about this is it will actually automatically print in reverse. And if you don't know what that means, I think, let me show you guys this real quick. Let's click on moi. So this is printed backwards, right? Because that's where we're going to lay it down.
Mirrored.
And when we lay it down, as soon as you apply heat, it will actually come out looking correct like that. So this is what we should see come through. And what you'll notice really quick too, the colors look almost like blown out or kind of like ugly, honestly. But what happens is through the process of through heat and sublimation, this is what comes off this paper. So really different. And just to show you guys how shiny that is, like, I mean, it pops, right? So really interesting, really cool. You're going to probably think that you messed up, but you didn't. All right, so we're going to click print, and then I'm going to make sure that it does print. It's going. Okay, so there you go.
Click.
Yeah, it's going. So that's basically it. And so what's really cool is I did nothing but go into Adobe Express and type in soccer field. I typed in 3 lines of text, and I took a logo and plopped it onto a field of soccer. And we're going to then take it and out while Kyle is doing his stuff. I'm going to not make you watch the boring thing of taping heat transfer tape. I will show you how I did it, but it's, by the way, this is done. Oh, no, it's not. It's reprinting something. Okay. All right. So I'm done. That's it. That's what I got.
All right.
Pow.
Wha-bam! That was exciting. Ooh.
It was exciting. But again, what's really cool, by the way, and I will say this, and then I'll shut up. You can actually apply crops to that in Adobe Express, where you can turn it into a circle. You can turn it into a square for coasters. You can take that same file, modify it to what you want to modify it to, and put it on a whole bunch of different products. And so to me, being able to boost how many products I have and how I can give them out to people or showcase them, that might be what gets them into my booth, and then they can buy my laser stuff that I'm used to selling. So if you have any questions about that, ask it while Kyle's talking, and I'll answer them for you. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. So here, I'll do this. So tonight we have a variety. So we have a big box and a little box. We're gonna unbox both of them, and we're gonna decide together as a team what we should engrave. Don't need that. We have a nice blue tumbler. It's a nice deep blue. And I wasn't wrong. It does have both a ding and a scratch. At least 2. So we got that is option 1. And white, powder coated white. This is like a tall boy can insulated thing. It's got a piece of foam with unstuck sticky on the back. And you just drop your your Red Bull or your White Claw or whatever the hell people drink these days in there, and screw this on, and it holds it in. What do you guys want to see? Drop a color in chat, blue or white. And if you like these project streams, smash that like button while you're at it. If we have time, we might do both, but let's stick to one for now. Both don't count. Give you guys another 30 seconds. Might eat another airhead. How about that? It's going to be green. Shout out to Jason for including airheads with the rotaries, because you made my night. I needed a good pick-me-up snack. Also, I'm going to blindly run it without testing the color. That's the other thing. I've engraved neither of these cups. Just so you know. All right, let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blues, and 1, 2, 3 whites. It's looking like blue is winning. All right, so we're going to start with the blue one. And if we have time at the end of stream after Matt does his sublimation stuff, maybe we'll jump into the white one. We'll see. So this is your standard 20-ounce tumbler, right? And yes, I'm going to attempt my first ever full wrap tonight. So that's exciting. So let's see. This is basically how I would instruct somebody to do a full wrap if they asked me for help on doing one, even though I've never done one. Let me load up Lightburn here. Haha. All right. So what we got, let's go over here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to measure. Oh, you guys can't see me. Let's fix that. Hold on. Hang tight, guys.
By the way, if any of you wondering what I'm doing, I am setting up my other camera because I'm not cool like Kyle with the mobile rig. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them and we will try to address them. I don't know why I'm using my salesman voice.
Why not?
That's fair. By the way, what are you guys working on at this time of year? That's something else I've been wondering. I am starting to, I've never done Christmas ornaments
There we go.
Super far in advance like this, but I really want to this year. So what are you guys working on?
All right. So I'm going to real time make a template. So since we're starting with this guy, zeroing out my caliper, and I'm measuring from the top of the powder coat to the top. There's this little ridge here. Actually, you guys can see it better on camera than I can in real life. So I'm just kind of guesstimating it just so I know. We got 89.5 millimeters. I'm rounding. So I'm going to make a little box here, make a tool path. And remember, we are working with a rotary here, so this is rotated. So 89.5, something like that. And we got about 20 millimeters for the ledge. Well, we'll do it this way. So what I did was I used the snap feature in Lightburn. I'm just going to bump it over. And it lines it up nice. And we want, and I'm anchoring on the left side. It doesn't really matter because we're just changing the width right now. I think I said 20 millimeters. Yeah, 21, whatever. And we're going from the bottom of that to, let's call it there, 70 millimeters. I'm just going to make another box here. Just snap it so it's the same size. And we'll slide it over. And we're going to use the alignment to bump it over. 70. So now we know, where this is. It also has a stainless ledge on the top here with no powder coat. I like to grab that just so I get a perspective of the entire cup. That's 10 millimeters. So I'm going to add that in. And bump that over. That's my little trick. I'm going to change the anchor position to the right because I don't want the right side to move now. And there we go. I need to change the diameter now. So I'm taking the cup and I'm going to remove the lid actually because I don't want the lid to interfere with my measurement in case it's oversized versus the rest of the diameter of the cup. And I'm going to measure the diameter from widest point to widest point. We got 88 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of a, let's call it a hack, right? It's kind of here intentionally, but I'm going to open the rotary setup and I'm going to type in 88 millimeters into the diameter, and that gives me the circumference. So I don't have to, know any math at all to set up a template. And that is now our height. And we now just made an on-the-fly template. And anybody got the time? How long that was? Less than 5 minutes. Probably less than 3 minutes. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So let's pick.
I'm a fancy boy with my fancy times.
What was that?
I said you're over there with like under 5 minutes. I'm a fancy boy.
Oh, that's definitely not fancy. Here.
No, it was taking me about 5 hours, so you did all right.
Let's take it a step further.
Oh, shit.
Top.
You won't, Kyle.
Stainless. Uncoded. And we'll resize this.
All right, let's see if my camera works. I love Ed. I feel like Ed drinks while he watches this show. He's like, it felt like 10.
Oof. Ouch. Thanks, Ed.
Really short. I'm going to tell a story just for Ed. Well, then he's the one that was like, why does when he says long story short?
All right. So we know where everything is now. So I'm going to group this so it doesn't go anywhere. And actually, I'm just going to duplicate this whole thing, and I'm going to save that to my art library later. So now I just need to decide on a design. Hey, Matt, should I do one of my...
Yes, I was going to say, was it houndstooth or herringbone? I think herringbone.
We could do an unreleased one.
Oh, all right.
So if you guys didn't know, I started selling patterns on Etsy. And right now I have 3 listings up. I just got started this week on listing stuff, really, but I've had the storefront on Etsy for like 3 months. So, all right. I'm gonna grab a couple of samples for a couple different ones, and chat can decide.
What's it called? The storefront.
Kyle's Laser Stuff. Cool. Drop your link to your.
I got you.
All right, Matt will find it.
Kyle's Laser Stuff Etsy.
You'll know it when you see it. All right, so I'm gonna throw. A bunch of designs up. Some of these are still kind of in beta, so this will be a good test for them. And I will delete the fill over them, and you guys can pick which one you like more. And we'll just do it. Surprise style. This one goes with that. This goes here. These are all continuous designs. So the beauty about that is we can make them as big or as small as we want. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to grab them all. So many options. Maybe I should just pick 3.
Nah, A or B. One or the other. Done.
All right. We got option A, option B, C, D, E, or F. And we're going to turn off. So here's your options. Now you can kind of imagine, right? So like if I take one of these and I make an array, how that could very easily make a pattern, right? So that's kind of the beauty of how I set these up. So I can infinitely scale these to whatever size I want. Hope that makes sense. Matt just listed one of my patterns. So if you want to check out my store, there it is. But so if you guys like a particular pattern or want to see what it looks like, let me know. But if you want to throw a vote in, do A, B, C, D, E, or F in chat. Only pick one, please. Because more than that feels like chaos. Probably took me longer to pull these samples into Lightburn for you guys to vote than it did for me to make the template. Yep. I'm using the array feature in Lightburn. That's how a lot of my patterns are, because I can resize these to whatever size I want to fill a space and array them and resize it, and everything matches up. as long as you don't change the dimensions too crazy. A, D, A, D, A, D, D.
Yeah, you got 4 for A. Right now is the most. I would vote for A also.
A?
5. Yeah.
Okay.
There's 5 A's.
You're going to have an airhead.
All right. So really quick,
Yeah,
while you guys,
blue airhead. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say while you guys continue to vote, this is what I was doing. I was running around trying to set up the camera so you can see what I'm doing over here. This is one of my tables. I've got this camera's so dirty. But anyways, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do while Kyle's working on his stuff. I'll be over there working too. But really quick, while you guys are voting on his, I've got the heat press over there. I've got the little heat transfer tape. The paper was saturated with ink, so I'm letting it straighten out because that really matters, that you have a nice straight adhesion to the surface of the substrate. And that's what's going on over there. So I got a mess over there because I was working on a whole bunch of stuff earlier today, but there you go. So going back to Kyle real quick.
Yeah. Somebody suggested doing both and seeing how they merge up. That's how they would merge up. Roughly.
You now have like 7 A's.
Yeah, it won't be right. So.
All right, A it is. Boom.
A it is. All right. So the reason why there's 2 for each, by the way, is this is a negative of this. So. Yeet. All right. So I'm going to take this. And we're going to throw it over here. Let's group it. Nope. Ah.
I'm going to have to come back and watch this later. So that, like when I'm not doing my stuff.
All right. So all I'm doing is I'm using, we'll fill the whole thing. Is I'm using 0 padding on edges. So we don't want any spacing. And rows just fill up the length from top to bottom, and columns fills up the width left to right. And the idea is we're going to oversize this a little bit. I feel like these are going to be really tiny. This is a centimeter. All right. So I guess it could be smaller. So what I'm going to do, I don't like that. I'm going to make them bigger. So I'm going to group this now, and I'm going to, or even better, let's do that. I'm going to take the height of our cup template. I'm going to apply that height with the aspect lock so it scales properly. And since we're in the top left corner, we're going to use that for our anchor point. I'm going to paste that in for our height, and it fills right down to the bottom line. And that's it. Now, basically what I can do is take this box and if I use it as a cut line, it's going to not work great. So I'm just going to make a new cut line. So all I did was I just generated a layer on top, because when we made our template, we have lines kind of segmenting it here. It's not one big box. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take this and highlight them both at once and use the intersect. Just going to chop off the rest so we're not flooding over the outer bounds of the cup. That's it. Now we just apply our settings. So in this case, I'm not even on a laser right now. We're going to be using our CO2 with our 210 lens. And we're going to be using, oh, no, wrong one. Powder coat. And this is a setting I got from Matt because he's a super nice guy.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, Matt. So, yeah. So we'll take this. We're going to go ahead. Please forgive me, Kyle, but you showed the bag of airheads when Kyle was being silly, and I thought you were commenting on his silliness.
He thought you were calling me a dummy. He thought you were calling me a dummy.
I'm a dummy. And I'm going to give this your airhead. I'm not kidding when I say Jason made my day with this.
Oh, yeah, I ate my entire bag in like 5 minutes.
He throws one into every Rotary. So it's not like I got treated special. Everyone gets a bag of candy.
All right. I'm going to change over to my DJI mic. I know you guys said it isn't the best, but you know what? I'm trying stuff that's new, and that way I can be across the shop and actually talk and do all that.
So if you guys were curious, these are the settings that Matt shared with me, and I'm going to be utilizing them with one minor change. So I did not do a lens correction on this machine yet. I actually lost that when my computer crashed, and I just haven't gotten to this machine yet. So I'm not going to be doing them in segments. I'm going to be treating this like a normal Rotary engrave would be, like on a gantry. Sorry, that was ring chat. Thought I saw a new question. So this is what we got. Actually, you know what? Let's live adventurously. I'm going to cancel this. We're going to stick to your settings. I'm actually going to do each of these segments.
By the way, can you hear me okay or no?
Yes, you sound wonderful.
What about now?
You sound wonderful.
Hey, all right. This thing is working for now.
It is. I'm just making an arbitrary cross in the center here because I haven't even lined the Rotary up yet. And what I'm going to do is line up my artwork while I'm at it.
Yeah, and I figure while you're doing that, people can watch me put on tape or something equally exciting.
There we go.
Hopefully I still sound okay. I have no clue.
You sound good.
Sweet.
Everybody in chat, put a #1 if Matt sounds awesome.
They're going to like wear out the numbers on their keyboard.
Nah.
Well, what stinks is I think the pieces that JP Plus sent over got beat up by the UPS guy, but it's okay.
Lovely.
We're just practicing and showing you guys how to do it. By the way, thank you to our sponsors, JP Plus. If you guys haven't been over to their website, make sure you take a look over there. I think most of the products we're using on the show tonight, and it's all the stuff I'm using for Sublimation, is over there. If you do head over there and you want to help support the channel, you can use the code YLR-ZDF. But in the future, if that changes, it'll be down below, and it'll save you 15% on stuff. It will not save you 15% on this machine, however, but all the blanks and stuff you get will have the 15% off. And if you buy it from JP Plus, I think from now until the end of summer, you get $100 in JP Plus bucks, which is pretty sweet. So you buy the printer for like $400 and you get $100 to use towards whatever else you want. So just saying.
What Matt said. Also, you can get similar cups at Johnson Plastic Plus to this, but this one is not from Johnson Plastics Plus. This one is far worse than what you can get at Johnson Plastics Plus.
Yeah, and I was actually going to show people too, like if they do get a sublimation thing, the Christmas ornaments. I've got some Christmas ornaments from JP Plus, and I have some cool stuff from Amazon too that I found that's nice and cheap, so you can practice on it and not feel bad if you mess up, and or make a higher return on your investment. So
these were also more expensive than the ones at Johnson Plastics Plus, and they suck. So it says a lot for the value. You can get better. Do either of you have or use a 300 lens with a CO2 Galvo?
yes,
Yes, we both do.
I use mine a whole bunch.
I've used my 300 lens on my CO2 Galvo a grand total of twice.
I will say I use the 300 mostly for wood and large pieces of stuff that have some type of a coating, like a paint, and that I'm doing like really big, bulky stuff on. It's really not the best at that point for fine engraving. The 200 is my favorite lens out of all the ones I have. I think if I had like a 150, it'd probably be, that would be my number one. But the 200 I can work pretty well. So. All right. Do you want me to show people, or what? I don't know what you're up to. I'm not looking at the computer.
I was looking at the width of my diamonds.
Okay.
And I'm gonna set my split size.
Word.
And I'm literally like, I'm doing this because I don't want it to take forever to engrave. If I really should set this to.
No, set it to what it needs to be. We have another hour on the show, dude. Who cares if it takes? Yeah, we're at 106 right now. Our plan, just so you guys know, is to try to go to like 10-ish.
Yeah, so we're good then. So I'm setting my split size to double what my line is.
Oh,
so
resin.
If I double click here, 0.08. So 0.08 times 2 is 0.16. So that's what I set it to. I'm not using overlap. This steps per rotation is based on your driver in your machine. So that's the little box that drives the rotary. That doesn't usually come with the rotary. So this is a number that is determined by the driver inside your machine, not the rotary you're using, unless you're using a geared rotary. In this case, it's a direct drive rotary. So this is equal to what the driver is set to. And that is specific to truck rotaries. Hot dog or other style rotaries function completely different, and that's a totally different guide you need to look at. But onwards. So I need to turn the machine on. I apologize if my audio goes to crap.
No, it's actually not bad.
Not bad?
It's cutting it, like when you don't talk, it cuts it out.
Good.
By the way, so just to fill you guys in, these are industrial machines. When you hit 60 watt, you go up in the game. And so the fans, in order to keep it cool while it does its job, because it is an RF tube, have to be pretty verbose. Like they've got to be pretty loud. So there you go.
I'm heading over to chuck it in.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to show people my... Well, actually, I guess people probably want to see this. So if you've never seen somebody use a chuck, here's Kyle putting in, and it's just that quick. Like, boop. And then what's cool is with mine and... Oh, hey, Miranda's here. Whole car listening to the live right now. What up? Drive safely, please. Don't listen too hard, I guess. So Kyle got a level with his, and that little box that you guys can see up in the top left, the gray box that says the rotary kit, comes with all little tools that you need to kind of get going, including a nice little beveled like plastic and glass level, and it's pretty good. I like it. And so you can see it. Bada bing. Nice. Mark said, Kyle, where did you get that chuck? This was sent to us by Jason Reif over at Rotoboss. This is the Talon. It's pretty freaking sweet, man. Yep, Rotoboss. And by the way, Kyle's probably not talking as much because every time he does talk, for his computer to recognize his voice, it's going to bring in all the noise that comes with that. All right, so this is where he is measuring his focal distance right now. And basically the top of the stepper motor where he's at right now is pretty much going to be in line with where the cup is. And also the lens is probably directly above where the cup is, so you can't really put it there. So add a couple millimeters or whatnots. There we go. I literally just got done doing this yesterday, 2 days ago. Yep, getting it nice and squared up. So the nice thing, by the way, this device, like this rotary device, comes with a, basically you can clamp it to, and you can kind of see it down there, it's the red piece. You can actually fit it so that it's square inside your bed. And so you literally, it comes with some really nice thumb screws, which you can see Kyle using right now. So pretty quick, really easy to just adjust it very fast. So if you did need to make a change, you just basically put these to the back of that, bump it up, and it's basically square. Bada bing, bada boom. And especially if you're doing something like this where it's a design that's supposed to be flawlessly touching. But again, this is just me and Kyle playing around, having some fun. And he's trying something he's never done before. And I'm showing you guys something that I literally have never done on either, really. Just learned it today. And by the way, we'll link you guys to the Talon. We'll put one in the description as we're going here, or at the end. But most of you guys know Rotoboss.
All right, I'm back. So what I'm going to do, because this is a seamless design, I'm going to take a segment of these. I'm going to ungroup all this. I'm going to take a segment out of the center here. Oh, I guess I'm going to cut them. So I'm basically looking to see that this pattern meets up with this pattern properly. So what I'm going to do, we'll just drop that. We're going to combine all these. And I'm going to use this, go to Tools, Cut Shapes. And this whole segment, I can switch to another layer that doesn't output. So that's your little hack if you want to see if one side meets up with the other. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this. And because I have cut selected turned on, I need to select what I want to actually output. And I'm just going to hit start, and I'm going to go back over to the laser and throw some tape on it. Yep, that's fine. And we're going to frame. Interesting. Might be going the wrong way. Yeah, we're going the wrong way. Hold on. Aha. Close this and start it again. So that's what happens when you set the rotary up as the wrong axis type. All right. So
Yeah, and what you guys will notice is it talks about slices.
yeah.
And so basically what it does is it segments the design and it turns a portion of the entire rotation and will mark within that segment, which is called a slice. And if you notice, it's going to take 18 turns and it'll just go zap, 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 buzz, zap, 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 buzz. And so after 18 turns, it'll be around, so basically 20 degrees if you're doing the math for a 360, roughly. And then did you figure out the focus and the defocus on the, like, did you think about defocusing on the bottom too? Or did you talk about that, or what? I literally haven't been listening.
Can you say that again?
What is you, did you think about the defocus as it drops off, or are you only doing the top part?
Oh, I just focused to the top part. The depth of field on this lens is big enough to account for
We'll cover it up.
drop.
Nice. All right.
Um,
Renato said, I'm back. What did I miss? We basically just got, Kyle just got everything set up to rock and roll on on the Rotary. And does it make a difference if it goes left or right?
For this pattern, it doesn't. But if you're doing something like that won't look okay when it's mirrored, like text, yes.
Yeah, and basically it matters because of the placement of the chuck on the bed. So it needs to look like what it's going to look like when it gets engraved. So because he's got this placed here, it's going to go left and right. If he had it placed, some people do this where they place it differently, and then you would just have to make sure you have it set up correctly to where you have it placed on in Lightburn. I guess that makes sense.
So you guys may or may not be able to see it because of the frame rate of the camera, but it's cutting off right here and it's going too far that way. So I'm literally in the framing menu here, and I'm going to left click on my arrow key on the keyboard. I won't do it because I'm in a slice menu. Hold on. Try that again.
If you scoot it back on the bolts, one more bolt, should be good.
Yeah,
like go all the way to the edge of your bed.
I'll do it that way.
Yeah, there you go. Mark just asked, what wattage machine is Kyle using? This is a 60-watt CO2 Galvo. See, and this is where too, like if you did do something like this, I use a speed square on mine. Like I just keep a speed square handy. So that way I can just zap it up against the side and I don't have to think real hard.
Details.
Well, as I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I'm not the thinker out of the group. Just saying.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run a piece of tape across that seam.
Oh, that looks like the black tape from Anthony Montez, 50 millimeter. Good stuff.
That's because it is.
Oh, hey. I'm not even being a jerk. Like, it really is good stuff. It's quality tape for all kinds of stuff. It makes seeing the red dots so much easier.
Yeah. So I'm going to back down my power significantly. So up here I'm at like 600 speed, 35 power. I'm gonna go to like, I don't know, 1,000 speed, maybe 15% power, maybe less, 10%. I've never actually marked this with the CO2 yet because I haven't done the alignment. So hopefully I don't blow through it, but for science.
Yeah, John said, I was thinking the same thing, speed square or a machinist square for alignment. I have a machinist square in my tool drawer. Yep, absolutely. I just bought one a long time ago for projects, and it just comes in really handy. The fact that you can float it along the edge of the bed, and again, just my brain doesn't have to think hard. Just, you do it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, looks pretty solid, man.
All right, so we are lined up. I'm literally just gonna go ahead and hit start and see where it marks and make sure it matches up properly.
Oh yeah, I can see it there, doing its job. By the way, if you didn't notice what Kyle did there to get it where he wanted it, he did what's called a jog, and you literally just jog the thing. Lightburn lets you decide how many millimeters you want to jog it to run it to its next position. The new store website is Laser. I literally put it in the description last time. I will copy and paste it real quick. But it's Laser.
We're blowing through the tape there on the bottom. Whoops. Oh well.
Yeah, well, science. I literally just ordered from him, so let me look. Oh, beam it up. That's right. Beam it up. Come on. BeamItUpLaserTape.com. There it is. BeamItUpLaserTape.com.
What does it smell like currently? It smells like tape.
Burnt tape. What does that smell like? A little sticky. Yeah, so I bought that from Anthony. It was $10 for 2 rolls, I think, and its shipping is like $5 or $6. So for $16, I got a 100 millimeter and a 50 millimeter, and then the shipping. So, and if you don't know who Anthony Montez is, he is one of our people on Discord. We have some awesome people who help out here. We've got Andrew Farmer, Michael Dias. We got Jack in the shop who helps out. We've got Vinny, who's done a ton of stuff for the channel as well as the website. We got Kyle. We got me. We got, oh my gosh, I know I'm forgetting people. Let me go look. We've got Michael Dias, EQ Laserworks, Anthony, Vinny, Lithgow, Ace Master, all the people who help out, and all of you guys who show up. Laura, right? We've got, my gosh, everybody. Rob, Mark, Ed, Keith, Resin, so many people. All right, so is it actually running the whole file, or are you just seeing the matchup?
No, I'm just testing the matchup.
Okay. So while you
assuming it looks good, I'm recombining everything and I'm just running it.
Yep. While you do that real quick, is it cool if I knock it over to the?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And then you can come tell us, there's probably a sticker. My daughter decided to put a sticker on this camera. unbeknownst to me. So here's the deal. This is my little mobile rig. Yeah, there you go. And so this is the 8x10 piece that got sent over. So what's really cool is you can see it's gotten beat up by in transit. But what's cool is it has a hanging space up here and it's got a hanging space up here. So we did a 10x8. So we peel this off. It's got a really nice adhesive. And you can see this definitely got beat up again by UPS. So this is on them. This isn't on, like I literally have a video on the ring tape. But because this is here, it's going to be an incomplete adhesion. So that's one of those things you got to be really mindful of. There's ways to fix this that you guys probably know better than me. But that's just MDF right there. So that's exposed MDF. And for it to adhere, what we need is basically a substrate that can, when the heat applies to the special ink in a sublimation printer, it literally turns it into a gas, and the gas adheres to, it's almost like PVC or like vinyl that's here. So this was the print. Miranda Salidi, DHS Soccer 2024 Girls MVP. Congratulations again, Miranda. Kyle, like that's some big news, right? So we got that going on. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to put this here. And so if you notice, I don't know if you guys can see through, but when we take it, it was printed backwards. Whoops, there you go. Kyle, by the way, I need you to like tell me what people can see because I cannot see my camera. So that's basically what's going on.
Vince said polyester.
Polyester, thank you, Vince. Vince is smart. Like I said, I'm just a new guy learning this stuff. But when you look at it with light shining through, you should be able to see it printed correctly. So the first thing I'm going to do, because the heating press takes time, is we're going to kind of move this over here so you guys can see this is Alex's favorite heating press. He loves the hot pink. He absolutely didn't make fun of me for having it. He was like, Matt, I appreciate your masculinity not being a challenge for you. And I was like, no problem, buddy. So the cool thing about this, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Kyle, you'll back me up on all of that. That's all true, right?
Say again?
Exactly. Okay. So with this, when you turn it on, you've got the mode. And basically, it's really simple. I'm going up to 400 degrees. Hopefully, you guys can see that.
Tip to your right a little.
Tip to the right, like that?
Like 1 more degree. Beautiful.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So as soon as we turn this on, it's got a minus and a plus. So you can control this pretty simply. So we're going to go up to 400 degrees because we have to do it for 75 to 90 seconds. The mode, we can actually control the timer. So we will go up to 90. So our brains don't have to think. And then as soon as you hit mode again, you actually see my light go out. And now when you open it up, it's in heat mode. So this is now heating. How are we looking now, Kyle? Can we see what my hands are going to be doing here?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. So this is heat transfer tape. If you've never seen some, it's literally just a tape that won't mess up what you're working on. So with this, there's a couple ways you can do it. Basically, we gave ourselves a little bit of wiggle room here. So my thought is if we lay it down and we have it square, we should be good. So this should be good. I want to make sure that I've got this correctly where it's going to line up with Miranda's name in the field and that it's going to hang correctly. I don't know about you guys, but I've done that on so many. Like a lot of my blanks where I mess up and I keep them to show people are mess ups like that. So what's nice is if you guys can't see, this is an 8x10 surface. We did an 8 1/4 by a 10 1/4. And that gives us 1/4 of an inch of play. And we left the space at the edges intentionally open and free from text so that we could put this down and it's good to go. So knowing that works really well, we're going to basically take this, put it where we want it, and start taping it. Okay. So I'm going to give myself some space right here. And like I said, we only need a few pieces of tape. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. I'm showing you guys a process and a skill, not so much a finished product for perfection's sake. But we're just going to start putting it in place right there. Really exciting stuff here.
I'm excited.
I mean, I don't blame you. It really is. Like, I know I joke about it, but it is really neat, I think.
I got airheads. I get a show. I'm happy.
Right? And by the way, if you're trying to make sure that you're still in line with everything, you can also just hold it up in place and you can kind of see the design there. And there's probably a smarter way to do this, I'm sure. I could have probably put a black line around where I wanted it to be and in the print itself, and it would have been great. But again, just showing you guys a skill, because I can already see that I'm a little bit off. By the way, tell me if chat has any suggestions about being stupid. I like it the other way.
Ed says he's been in heat mode for years.
He's been what?
He's been in heat mode for years.
Whoa, that sounds interesting. All right, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to pull this the same way I was doing it a second ago, but where I can actually see what I'm doing. How about that?
John says do the taping on a light table.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. That will be the next thing. But here's the deal. What I did is I just put the pieces of tape on there so I can actually just have a couple in place. And then now I've got two that are keeping it in place right there like that. And so I could also just kind of put the tape here like so. And kind of just get it going. I really don't think, the way we did this, there's really not a horribly wrong way to do it. I guess there is a horribly wrong way. Like, if I lit it on fire or something, you know, that'd be pretty wrong. But we're going to have positive thoughts. So we're putting that there. Just kind of moving things around. We're already almost done. Okay. By the way, this thing is now at about 200.
The surface of the sun?
What?
It's at the temperature of the surface of the sun.
No. All right, and again, just to show you guys what I was talking about. So this is where I'm kind of figuring out my center. You can kind of see the color band down here at the bottom. And so just going to do a couple more here and then we're done. So there are a few things that you need to have that I've found are pretty important. So there's things called blowout paper. What happens is when this gasifies the ink, you do need to protect your heat press from the extra ink that gets gasified. So there is blowout paper. There's all kinds of stuff. And so that's where, if you watch the next video where I talk about this, it's covered in depth. So that's it. Right? So basically what's happening is when I look at this, and it's hard to see, but you can see the Durant symbol right there. So we know that it's right side up. We know that that's in line with here. We know that it's placed pretty well. And so this can kind of sit here waiting. And in a few minutes, what we're going to do when this hits 400 is we're going to place this into the heat press like so. We're going to take our paper, and basically one thing I'll show you guys is up on top here. I think you guys should be able to see this right here. This large bolt allows us to adjust it's almost like a Z adjustment, right? So we can adjust if we have a thicker piece in here by elevating it. It lets us have more pressure or less pressure on larger objects or smaller objects. And so what we'll do is we'll make sure, I've already got it set to the one that I did earlier today. So that's cool. But really, all I did was figure it out by adjusting it as I went so that I could actually press this down on it and it had a nice firm. I think the tech tip sheet that I talked to you about downloading earlier said to use a medium firm. And it's really just up to your judgment. So looking at this right now, it's at 250. So that's it. So we're ready to go. And the cool thing is, while this thing is heating up, I could be doing 2 or 3 or 4 of these. And that's the nice thing about this activity, is you can be prepping the next ones as these things are going. So just real quick, while we're waiting, Kyle, I don't know what you're up to, but
Watching you, buddy.
This is something from Amazon that I got today, and so this will be something that I'm actually going to be doing and adding into the video. So Christmas in July, I'll link this for you guys too. This is literally some coasters. JP Plus has coasters. I'm just trying out some of the cheap stuff plus some of the really nice stuff. Because again, the nice stuff about JP Plus is everything comes with a nice wrapping. Everything has its own individual box. But I also know sometimes you just got to learn the process and use some trash to do it. So these actually look kind of nice. Just these little cheapy Christmas ornaments. So one side is sublimatable, and you can tell because it's smooth and it's got some shininess to it, versus the other one where it's just a piece of ceramic. And so I've actually done ceramic already, and I kind of have an idea of how to do that. So I should be able to show you guys that too. So we'll get a link for that kind of stuff too for you guys to, again, I don't know its quality yet, but the fact that it's so cheap, I don't mind if I break it or hurt it, and I can use it to learn with. So, all right, let's see, we're at 300. So you want to cut back to whatever you're working on for a minute, and then we'll wait for this thing to get ready?
So we did our little test, and as you guys can see, it's a little small, but we're actually perfectly lined up. So there's one row from the top and one row from the bottom of the design, and they meet up perfectly. So I'll just...
Oh, nice.
So I'm just going to go ahead and peel the tape off, and we're going to set it back up to run. I went a little hard on the settings for paper. There we go. All right, so I'm going to switch back over here. So we are going to go ahead and go back to 0, which we're already at, position 0. And I need to set my blue layer here back to black because we want it to engrave. And we're going to combine every... Whoop, I broke it.
I broke it.
I did. When I cut it, I broke it.
All gravy, baby. Yeah, and then while I'm waiting for the heat press to heat up, I can answer some of the questions I see or address them. So yeah, going back up to Vince said polyester. Yes, thank you, Vinny, for being smart. It has been in heat modes for years. Light table. Yeah, gasifies resin. Yes. So what happens is with sublimation, from what I've been reading and understand, again, I'm new at this, is that basically it prints in ink to paper, but it's a special kind of ink that when you apply heat to it, it literally turns in. That's what sublimate means. It means to basically change from liquid to solid and permeate something. So it's basically like change state of being. And so, yeah, it basically goes onto the PVC and the PVC captures that print. That's why, if you noticed, I put a whole lot of tape on there because you really do want stuff to be pressed nicely together. So you get a clear adhesion because you can have blowout. You can have some issues with like smudging, basically where the thing moves. So, yep. And then let's see. Buy a roll of parchment paper. Yeah, Ed, wax sheet is not the right thing, actually. By the way, if you've done this before, maybe you've used it and it works for you. I was told by the people at JP Plus parchment paper is the better option, simply because of its makeup. The wax sheet could cause issues when heating with the ink and stuff like that. So parchment paper is the better one. John explained it. All right, Kyle, go for it, buddy. I'll answer the rest of these in a minute.
So what I did there, if you guys didn't see, I sent this back to a black layer, and I re-welded it together. And that's important so that if you have mating shapes that are basically touching each other, you don't want the laser to mark up to a shape, stop marking, and then start marking again, especially if you haven't done your timing. Because if you haven't, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up with like a weird raised line, or like an unengraved spot sometimes, and it will really show problems with your timing if you haven't tuned it in, especially for the speed that I'm running the laser at normally, which is usually above 1,000. But just a tip, you definitely want to combine your layers. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and we're going to see how it goes.
Nice. All right. All right, back to the questions real quick, and we'll watch that fun. By the way, what's the estimated time? Did it give you one?
No.
Too late. All right. So let's see. John explained it. Claying metal. Do you do this for a living? Time is money. No, actually. Like, sublimation is brand new. Kyle is trying something brand new. Time is money for everybody, which is why we're doing these experiments to help everybody out. So I guess that's the only feedback I can give that question. Kyle, do you do this for a living? Time is money. All right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole thing is we're just trying to help people out. And also, when you're teaching, you shouldn't just speed through. I'm trying my best to, because we're trying to keep it around 2 hours-ish. So I appreciate the feedback, I guess. John says, can you laser engrave the non-shiny side of the ornament? Yes, that's actually something I was thinking about with the UV that would be pretty dope. So you could totally do that. You could actually, I was thinking too, you could use like some double-sided tape and put something nice on there. Like you could cut out a circle or whatever, you know, like you could literally design the shape and then have something on there to add something to it. But you could also just put text on the front. So if I wanted to put Baby's First Christmas, I could literally just make a fancy Baby's First Christmas with really pretty text and do that. So that's what's nice too, is you don't have to do any engraving, but you could. Let's see. The next one. Oh, Kyle, I'll put it up on screen. Scott said, why didn't you need to modify the template and engrave for the smaller diameter section? Won't they have overlaps or something?
No, because we're basically using the rotation axis of where the cup is mounted. That's my primary concern. When you drop down to the lower section, it's going to meet up the same way it does at the top, but the shapes are actually going to be physically smaller.
There you go. And actually, I'm going to quit posting the questions because then I think we're recording this and we can use it for some B-roll. So that'd be cool. So butcher paper or even a sheet of regular paper is what Laura was saying. So yeah, butcher paper works. A sheet of like cardstock would be pretty good too. Matt, you can use a special sublimation paper and a powder, and you can sublimate on anything as well as using any inkjet printer. Yeah, for sure. So you don't have to buy the sublimation printer, I guess, if you wanted to buy an EcoTank and then you wanted to use the sublimation ink. You can still buy the sublimation ink from that place. I know Vinny said he used different kinds, and we never want to make you think there's only one way to do stuff. We're just showing you what works for us. The other thing is I actually got sent over a spray, which is pretty cool, that you can spray on any surface. So if you have like plywood laying around, you could actually spray the plywood and it would give it it's like a spray on surface. It's pretty cool. So I'll show you guys that. Yeah, Jack, and I think Vinny said that he's got an EcoTank printer, and I know the only thing that would, I guess, be mindful of is that if you do that, I think that it can mess with the warranty of the EcoTank printer. Not that it usually matters. People trying to, use a different tool to do a different thing. Yeah, the spray. Oh, Ed, I'm glad you said you like it. I want to try it. They literally just sent me a bottle last week, and I've got some different stuff that I want to try it on. Okay. Did you re-up your power, Kyle? Did you put it back to the old?
I did. I reapplied the original settings.
Yeah. Why do I keep clicking it? Why do I keep messing up the B-roll?
It's okay.
Laser
Don't worry
glove,
about it.
more be careful. Some butcher papers are coated. Yeah, and I will find out more about what the difference is between all that stuff, or if one of you guys wants to chime in, go for it. I just heard is it cool if I go over to me real quick, Kyle? I'm going to do
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
All right, yeah, this is probably going to take more than 90 seconds. Mine shouldn't. So going back over to this camera. Oh, dude, Evelyn and her sticker. Woo, it is hot over here. Holy cow. Okay, whatever. All right, so again, if you just got here or you don't know what we're doing, this is our hot pink 9x12 heat press. I definitely think that you guys should get like if I was going to do this and buy it from what I've learned, and I say this in my video, the sublimation printer is dope. It's super small and over in the corner, fits into any shop. This thing fits in any shop, but I could quickly tell you I want something bigger to do bigger, better projects on, because this is like almost max size at 8x10. So if you just got here, we put this on with some heat transfer tape. We're going to literally just take this and put it into the center of the platen. We're going to take our paper. I reuse paper. It's like, don't reuse paper. And I'm like, yeah, right, man. Stuff costs money. So, Kyle, does that look okay?
Tilt to your right, like 2 degrees. That's the
To
one.
my right, 3 degrees. Right there?
Yep.
All right, dope. So, again, this basically right here is how I adjusted the height of this. So I should be able to, yep. Nice. So our timer's going. We got 90 seconds. You can already see some smoke happening, maybe.
We did. We did.
Yeah, and so again, what's happening here is this is, and it smells interesting. You probably should have some type of, I haven't been doing a bunch of sublimation, but you should probably have a fan on and some type of exhaust going if you're doing a lot of this. If you're just doing 1 or 2 pieces like this, I don't think it's the end of the world to breathe a little bit. I'm probably going to get in trouble from Miranda. Safety first, everybody. Always have exhaust. That is what Laser Everything is telling you. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing so much smoke.
Laura says, no, Matt, don't reuse paper.
I didn't, Laura. Who would ever do something like that?
And Laura looks like she uses butcher paper, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of sheets of the stuff they sent me. I can show you guys that box in a second. But if you can't see it, like smoke is literally billowing through this thing, like coming out the sides over there. Got about 10 seconds left. I know it's not exciting watching this, but hopefully it'll be a cool product at the end.
Laura
so
says,
what's really nice, this has a really nice audible beep.
Yep.
Oh, hot press, hot press. Let me get my gloves. Oh, by the way, you should not remove, you guys can see the smoke definitely happening. I just used some safety gloves that I've got for like gardening and stuff. And you can already see that this is looking really cool. So one thing to talk about, warping. So if you look over here, Kyle, does it look okay?
Yep.
Like you see, okay. So here's this thing that I'm never going to reuse again that I am safely storing over here for no reason in particular. This is super hot right now. Just to show you guys, it just got out of a 400-degree heat press. And so the heat press itself, right, getting close to 400. I've got an AC blowing here, so whatever. It's 380 on here. And then looking at this, this is already dropping down to 90 degrees. So this is hot enough to hurt you if you're not careful. But the other thing about this is because it is heated MDF, any of you guys who know, heated MDF will bow. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, and I'm just putting some stuff that has some weight into it. Like this probably weighs a few pounds. And one of the recommendations on the website is if you've got something that's been heated and you think it might bow, I'm going to turn this off real quick because I'm done with it. Never forget that. To basically just put something with some weight on it and to give it a minute or two. So if you want to cut back over to you, Kyle, we'll come back to this in like a minute.
Sure. You guys didn't miss much.
What?
Super tight split size means very slow rotary. So, you know, also not very optimized on my behalf.
Okay, Laura's giving me some good advice here. So let me go back and see what people are saying. Laura said she loves the spray too. Vinny said he has the EcoTank 8550 refurbished, so that's cool. Oh yeah, that's a good point. As soon as you put sublimation ink through the lines, because it's called charging the lines, which is something I covered, I think in the first video, or at least I filmed the first two together. So that we talk about charging the lines. Honestly, whatever way you go, however you decide to purchase something, to me, the EcoTank is the best way. And the SureColor F170 that I've got is one of their EcoTank series. It's pretty dope. For like $150, you can refill all 4 colors of your ink. And I think that's worth it, personally. Like, it's awesome. Parchment paper in a roll from Costco is a lifetime supply. What other materials have you tried to transfer to? So I have successfully transferred to a few different, they're called Unisub is like the brand that JP Plus has sent over and that I've been practicing with. So they're the most proficient that I've used their products. So long story short, I've done MDF, I've done acrylic, which I'll show you, it's in my video. I've done glass, but it's a special glass that JP Plus sent that has an adhesion on it. And then I've also done ceramic. So those are the 4 things that I have done so far. Vinny said, put it on the cement floor in your garage and put something on top. Yeah, definitely some kind of a heat sink would be pretty smart. I just have an air conditioning that I set it in front of. So like my air conditioning, I just took all those things the way they were and I put them in front of the AC and it's blasting on it. So I'm going to go check it here. Let's see. Hit this with the thermometer gun. Yeah, there you go. I think we're looking pretty good. And you don't want to wait too long on removing the stuff. You don't want it to be like burning hot, but you also don't want it to be freezing cold. Kyle, can you hit me up? Can you put me on this thing? Put the camera on me.
You're up.
I'm on.
You're on.
All right, sweet. So here we go. We got our 8 pieces of tape. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm hoping it looks good. The other one looked good earlier today that I learned how to do it on. Kyle was talking with earlier. He's like, what project should we do today? Let's have some fun. And I was like, yeah, whatever will end by like 10-ish o'clock because I'm exhausted. I went to bed last night at 4 o'clock and woke up this morning at 8 to be a dad for summertime children. And oof.
I shouldn't have listened to you on the settings, by the way.
What?
We're like 15% done on the rotary.
Hell yeah, that's 85% of the way almost there. Okay.
Oh my God.
So anyways, here we go. We're just going to trying to go quick. I know time is money. Am I right? Steel claying. All right. So let's see. Oh, shiz. Check that out.
Hold it up to the camera, baby.
That's dope, man. Look at that.
That looks sick.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So $7 blank. I feel like this could easily sell, and it hangs on a wall. I'm actually going to send this to Miranda. You can hang it up in the store. But what's really cool is you can actually see the gold-looking balloons. It's got all the stuff that we did. Again, like I said, this isn't JP Plus's fault or my fault even. I literally have a video on the ring of the freaking guy smashing it up today. He just dropped it off, or I guess it was 2 days ago. So yeah, but anyways, that's one of those things. Always check your edges before you do this because that will absolutely be an issue for you. But look how nice that is, man. And so to show you guys again, here's the print. Looks kind of blown out and ugly. And here's the results. Does that look okay? Can you see the result, Kyle?
Yep, looks good.
Yep. And then the other reason I wanted to show you guys this, if we're talking about adding color to your shop and what it's going to do, there's definitely something to be said for a really nice brass plaque like this one. So again, this is the school that I always work with. They always do tons of business with me. And this was one of my mess ups. And again, the mess up was because I was in a hurry and I did this really nice trophy upside down because, you know, genius. But real life, this is really classic and it's nice. But I mean, this is something where if you could have it next to it, they make plaques in this size, which is a 4x6 panel on a 5x7 piece. And so this could really pop for coaches who like something like this. If you really wanted something like MVP to differentiate between stuff. I mean, what do you think, Kyle? Or what do you guys think in chat? Like, I can't see the screen, but hopefully you can see both of these in the shot.
Yep, they look good. I feel like, yeah, I mean, if you had like a color option that could go on something like that, that would be crazy.
Yeah, and what's really cool too is if you're looking for stuff that again isn't a trophy. So I made a trophy tonight, but you could create like this is something where people, if they know that in your shop, you could take like a photo, a family photo. I have one more blank left of this, and I'm actually thinking about making a present for somebody with it. That it's just a family photo. I mean, it's super nice and glossy. I'm getting it dirty with my hands, but because we had that 300 pixel PNG, like that really high
DPI
digitized photo, that's really what makes this pop. Like you can literally see the pieces of grass in here, and it hangs up nice. I don't know. It's a really cool product, man. And so to me, this is something that a couple of my competitors can't do, straight up. So people will come to me for it. And I know coaches who want color. They've asked me for it, and now I can tell them yes. So I don't know. I'm pretty proud of that. Like to be able to show that to people this school year, because one of the things, and I'm gonna head back to the desk where I can talk to you guys better. But one of the things I love doing is every year at the beginning of the school year, I sit in front of the coaches, and let me go to my settings, camera, this one. There you go. One of the things that I always do is I go into the coaches meeting and I basically say, hey guys, I'm Matt Bodiford. I'm up in room 555. If you want to come find me, hold your hand out, right? And you can find me. And basically they come up and they talk to me, and I literally have like a little shelf system behind me that's got like, here's some items that I make. Here's some stuff that I do. And then they, from that, will ask me, can you do this or can you do that? And now the answer is yes. So that's really exciting. Also, I just got, not really a deal, a lead to work with a brewery. And he loves, it's like a psychedelic brewery where the guy loves colors and like Jerry Garcia and that kind of stuff. So to be able to do some printing on some ceramic coasters or something like that, slate, there's actually slate coasters they have too that have that adhesion top. That would be really cool. And it's just something that most people don't have, that he literally told me, I'm willing to pay good money for other stuff that people don't have. So I want something that other people don't have when you go to their bar. And I was like, all right, cool. So let's see. Let me go back up here. Try sublimating on the canvas. Yes, that is something I want to do, especially for teachers. So it's already back to school here in Florida, in the surrounding counties where I'm in Hillsborough County. We're basically 3 weeks away, and everywhere there's already stuff that's like teacher back to school gifts, teacher back to school deals, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you jump out there. Christmas time. Oh yeah, socks from Dollar Tree to sublimate. Yes, that's actually something that if you do buy from JP Plus, one of the things they have is like for $50 extra, you get like the sampler kit, and it comes with socks. It comes with patches for hats because you can sublimate patches for hats. It comes with all kinds of stuff. Christmas time ornaments, I think, are gonna be good. There's a learning curve when dealing with warp. Yeah, I agree. You can use the cheap cotton gloves from a big box store, and they last a long time. Have you done anything that isn't flat? Would you need a different press, or could you use a metal form? I would say you could probably, I know that there's hat patches. Like I literally have hat patches that I picked up from somewhere. I don't even, I have to look at the receipt. But I would put them onto a hat press, and I think that you'd be able to do just that. You could press it flat and then apply, let it cool off and apply adhesive to the back. Might be one way to do it. Or you could do that. There is sublimation to metal. So one of the things that we got last week that I talked about, and it's called Unisub aluminum. And so basically it was like 0.4 or 0.8 millimeter aluminum that had that same material that's on what you saw over there, that white adhesive surface. It's there. And you basically, it's a metal ornament, just like a business card, and it clings when you toss it. And it's two-sided. So my thought was you could either engrave the side, and that's something else I want to put into the video. If you guys want me to, I'll do that. So you can engrave it so that basically it's white and aluminum. So I'd use the CO2 to knock off the adhesive surface. And then the other thing would be on the front, you could put something like baby's first Christmas or our first Christmas in our new home. By the way, I'm thinking of like a realtor who buys stuff. Just every time they take a picture of the people, when it says sold, you could literally go through and in Adobe Express, import the photo, first picture, first Christmas in our new home, the Hamiltons 2024, and then copy and paste that whole thing into the next one with a new picture. And so it's literally a background, drop the text, background, drop the text, and you just crank them out. And that's how I see that going. And then basically I would spend time putting them all together. And then the nice thing is when they are a flat surface like that, you can pretty much line up as many as you can fit in your press, knock them out. Oh, yep. Different heat presses for different, so yeah, there definitely are. There's a variety of different ones. I will look into it so I can be more aware and not just make noise at you. But you guys are definitely experts in the chat, so feel free to share whatever you've used and where you've found success. Let's see. Oh, Kyle, you just saw that? Okay. Whew, okay. That's it. So that's all. That was my big project. So the cool thing, just to show you guys one more time with my nice camera. And also so that I can use this later on for footage. Let's see. Let me get stuff out of the way. Kyle, I'm going to put me on the big screen. So like you said, we can kind of use it for B-roll or whatevs. Whoa. Okay. So again, what you guys saw is really cool. That this is what we're used to doing in our shops. Right? Really nice looking, looks very classy, and what we're used to doing and seeing. But what we did today was we just printed. So again, whoops, camera. We just printed these things. They look blown out and kind of weird looking, but they sublimate really nice. So hit that with some shine. Pow, pow, ka-chow. Okay. And then the other thing that I did, and I did this morning just so I could kind of have a better idea. But I also just made this here to here. Here we go. Ka-chow. Yeah, resin. Thanks. Ka-chow. And so, yeah, so to me,
well, bam.
This is the kind of thing that if someone walked into a room and they saw these things, these are, to me, like standout pieces, like literally in a student's room or in a coach's room, in the locker room, whatever, where they see these kind of things. I think it'd be really cool. Whew. All right. Boom, done. And it's 10:21. That's not bad. All right, so Kyle looks like he's going to be finished sometime tomorrow afternoon. What did you do for the split size, by the way?
Huh?
What'd you do? What'd you end up for the split size?
I told you, double the line interval, 0.16.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to take forever.
I mean, the thing is, I will say though, you could definitely speed this up.
Oh yeah. This is
because
This is like the worst potential settings you could do by almost there. The only way to make this slower is to make the split size the same as the line interval, which is what I would do if we weren't doing 2 passes.
Yeah. And the nice thing is blue will be good. Like blue always has like that charred look like that, and then you just hit it with some degreaser and it's super shiny.
The bottom too, there's a strip of tape stuck there that cut off literally.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't want to mess with it, so I just left it.
Yep. Well, I'll say this. I mean, I think you've shown people, because what do you think? If it's doing like segment 3 right now, it's gonna be a while, right?
Let me do some math.
Kyle is mathing. It looks like it's 20% done right now, probably like 20 to 25%. If I'm looking at conic sections correctly.
We're just shy of 25% at 25 minutes. So it's 1% per minute. So this is we have like another hour and like a half almost.
Yeah, and by the way, the settings that I used were for project mark. So the ones that Kyle got from me were project mark.
Which laser am I using? This is the 60 watt from Haoshin, 60 watt CO2 Galvo. It's got a Dobby tube in it. Do I coat it after or leave the bare metal? This is just leave the bare metal. That's stainless. So the finish up at the top of the cup, where it's brushed horizontally, it's going to look just like that after I clean it.
And then there's another question from Mike that said, would you ideally want to do the full width of one diamond at a time?
That's what I was going to do. And then Matt's like, yeah, it'll be fine. We have an hour. Just leave it. And I'm like, okay.
I thought you were going to start this like right when we got going. But I mean, it's really not, it's moving. Like you guys can see it going. It's whatever.
It's fine.
Throw me under the bus.
We have.
I mean, here's what's nice though. If you look at this, so you can give the settings a hard time, but those are gonna like literally just wipe in one wipe.
That's all about unoptimal rotary settings with a crosshatch is the problem. So if we did bigger segments and I was more confident that the core file was on point, then I would do much bigger segments. But that's the price you pay for not being optimized.
Yep. And again, I think that goes back to that one question is like, time is money for sure. And it's a valid comment, but the whole point of today was just to experiment and learn. So,
yep. The next one I do, I can tell you right now, is going to take me far less time.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Kyle and I are really excited that we each got one of these to play with, is because then we can actually show you guys. I know there's some people who can do full wraps on 30-ounce and Stanleys, like the 40-ounce Stanleys, in like 7.5 minutes or something like that, or 8 minutes is what somebody. I was looking at a group the other day and I saw, and I was like, damn, like that's not a joke. Because if you think about 8 minutes, again, time is money. 8 minutes on a Stanley where people are paying like some big money. That's pretty. I mean, it's hard to contest that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the nice thing is repeatability with this tool is the same as if you're using the Ascend or any other kind of device like it. I mean, you basically just
I think repeatability might be higher on this. Because you're not counting on a roller.
The Ascend, I mean, if you watch the video I made about the, oh wait, did Alex release the Ascend video yet?
I don't know.
I don't think he did. If you do, like, it's literally less than like 6 or 7 seconds for me to load a cup, unload and load a cup. And it's not me doing like a speed run. It's just like click, clack, boom, done. Drop the lid, run another cup on the CO2 gantry.
Yep.
Man. Well, how about this? We are at 2 hours and 10 minutes. This thing you're saying is going to take probably like another half an hour. we could on.
It's gonna take another like 70 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sticking around for that. So my suggestion would be we could wrap up the show, and then if you guys want to on Discord, we have the tumblers section of the Discord, and we can post it there. We could also post it in our Facebook group and on the LMA.
Yeah.
And then when Kyle does find the new settings, then he and we should do like a race for a full wrap. That would actually be pretty dope.
I would love to do that. Actually. Maybe we can do a live stream this weekend doing that or something.
I won't be able to do a live stream. My sister's coming in from out of town, but next week I have no life.
Okay.
So, like, no life then. Well, wait, no. Next week I'm leaving to go to the mountains on Thursday. So Monday through Wednesday of next week it is. Maybe next Tuesday.
We'll figure it out.
That is pretty mesmerizing, though. But anyways, all right, let's come back to knock this thing out. Kyle's like sitting there probably petting the dog. Are you petting the dog, Kyle?
Dog is up with mama.
Oh, that's fair. Hey, there he is. All right, guys. So if you have any other questions, now is the time while we wrap it up. I wanted to give a shout out to JP Plus, our sponsors for the podcast. Thank you guys for sending over all the cool stuff that we get to play with and learn. Again, I really think that that's pretty dope. You guys should go look into it. If you're not gonna, that's okay. Laser. Oh, Laura said 8 minutes on which laser? On the one that Kyle's using, right? But yeah, thank you from all of us at the channel. Thank you from all of us at the show. A couple of things to make sure to mention. We have the Discord. If you've never checked this out over there, it's a free way to join the community and ask questions, gain answers. This month, if you missed the coin challenge that Anthony runs in our coin section for fiber lasers, dude, go check it out. It is sick. It's insane what some of these people, I think it's like the second or third time in a row that our winner has won, and he's really, really talented. So go check that out. You can join us over at the Laser Master Academy, masters.lasereverything.net. If you haven't joined up over there, go grab a Gamma level membership or whatever you want, way you want to support us. And that's where you can get one-on-one help with Kyle and I, or really any of the people. Michael Day is over there. He's kicking ass, helping out everybody. Al Fernandez, Mark Garrett's. There's so many people over there who help out. Really cool. And then the other thing is we have on our website, lasereverything.net, different ways to help support us. There's Ko-fi. Oh my God, what are all the ways? My goodness, you think I'd be good at this? Alex makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Everything.net. Oh, yep. So the different ways you can go over there, it's literally just the support tab at the end. And so there's Ko-fi, there's Patreon, and LibrePay, all ways that you can help support us if you want to. But the number one way is by joining Laser Master Academy to help us do what we do, and we appreciate you guys who have. So thank you guys. The other thing to make sure you guys notice is Laura's talking about the lens. Did you see my lens question?
I didn't see anything about a lens, just laser.
I didn't either.
Can you repeat it, Laura?
Oh, yeah, like Laura said, join the Maker Army. So that's the last thing in the YouTube. If you wanted to join the Maker Army, you can. And it's one way to help support everything that we do here. So we really do, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate you guys sticking around. And even if you're,
like this.
Yeah, like this, and learning about sublimation, to pass that on to you, because I really do think at Christmas I've lost a lot of sales on stuff because color, straight up. So I'm really excited to see how much I can gain from such a small, like, I mean, it's literally the 1/10 of the cost of my cheapest laser. So just saying. Anyways, that's everything I got. Kyle, anything else? Oh, yeah. Beam It Up laser tape. Jason Wright from RotoBoss. We'll have links to all these things in the description. Kyle's Etsy, all of the cool files that you saw and how he used it. All that stuff will be linked in the description after the show. I think that's everything. Kyle?
That is everything. This pattern is, by just a full disclosure, this pattern is pre-release. It'll be up.
So you're working on it?
Yeah. Well, it'll be up there soonish. It's a big package. There's like 9 designs, positive and negative. So what?
Kyle's big package.
You're terrible. It's a big package, and I want to make sure everything's properly set up because I like to make sure people are taken care of.
With his big package, yeah.
I'm gonna
I know. You're gonna bludgeon me with that thing. All right, so
I need
5
a
watt
large,
UV.
yeah.
Did you see this? All right, so a couple of things you can do. Check out Cloud Ray. They always have stuff. We have light. What is it? Marco. Light objects. There you go. Probably has something you can do. Innuendo and out the other. Hey. So yeah, there's a couple of different places. Laura, I'll send you some links on Facebook, and we'll get you taken care of. But yeah, I think from all of us at the show, and by the way, Miranda and Alex, if you're listening, innuendo and out the other.
Travel safe. One note about going with a big lens on a UV, you lose a lot of power density with not a lot of power. So
be mindful.
I'm too big. There we go. You don't expect to be doing glass with a 300 lens. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but we'll talk to you about it later, guys. We're out of here. We'll see you in the next one.
I'll post the results on Discord.
Tune in to see Kyle's big package. See you guys.